Now we're going to look into the last concept, and that is auto-loading classes. Look at this first. Every time, since now my code, my file base is growing, now I have two classes, but in a normal application, web application, you could have dozens, if not hundreds of classes. In order to use them, here I have included in my index file what I need. So the definitions that I need. So I'm loading them here. And that's not much of a problem. But as soon as this grows, the code, the logic grows, the classes that I need to include also grows. And that would be tedious if I had to do hundreds of times this kind of code, you know? So blah, 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 blah. So I don't want to do this. And I don't want to keep track of this either. So instead of doing this, wouldn't it be nice if I just can add one single line, include, and include once a file here, autoload and .php, so I don't worry about this anymore. That would be cool, right? So let's have a look how that is specifically is done, because PHP allows us to do that. So now here we are. That's the latest revision so far. So let's see how that looks. By the way, now let me just deploy this app. And here we already have all of our columns. So you can see here from the ID all the way to the metadata. So how that looks is basically something like this. So now we have all the database records reflected on the PHP level, application level. But our important topic today is auto-loading. So this is what I previously had. Now you can see that I'm not loading these definitions of my classes in this way. So this code is not copied and pasted in the traditional way, but I'm using auto-loading. And auto-loading basically means I'm going to use a specific function, and that's going to be my function, and I'm going to tell PHP whenever PHP needs a class and PHP cannot find any definition for that, give it a last try by using this specific method. And that specific method is basically on this file. So everything I need to include is where that method is included or is being called. In my case, I go into since I'm in the index, I'm going up one folder. Remember that the index is inside the public. So I'm going up one folder. That would mean here at the root of the project. Then I'm going to the private, and then I'm finding my autoload PHP. So I'm going up one folder, and then you can see that the autoload, inside the private, I can see the autoload. So this is all I'm including now, and PHP will from now on use a specific method. And that method is mine to actually look into the definitions of my classes. In this case, this is a very simple function, and I call it, in this case, my autoloader. The definition is very simple. I'm just passing the class name, and I'm just going to define or include dynamically that specific class that PHP is looking for, or that my application needs at a specific time during the runtime of the application. So the path is basically a relative path from the index, so that's why I included in this way in here, but that's exactly the same path. Then I have the extension of the class. In this case, I'm using PHP classes. That's what we have been creating so far. And the file name is the combination of that, the path, the class name, and extension. So this allows me to really include in a dynamic way whatever class PHP needs in the future, or might need in the future. Of course, this is a quick check over here. And if that file still is not found, then you will have a fatal error, and then your application will perhaps break. But you know, this is kind of a last chance for PHP to dig into your directory and try to find the definition and place that definition, include that definition class when needed. So it has not only the advantages that you already saw in here, the many includes, that's one advantage, but also lazy loading. So that means that you just put the classes that you need when you need it. You load the classes that you need when you need it. And that's pretty cool. So once you have your function, excuse me, autoloader, then you will simply call a specific function, and that is just a basic function in the standard PHP library. SPL stands for that. And yeah, autoload register is just simply looking into calling and giving a last chance of loading your class if not found, if PHP is not able to find on its own. And that's simply it. Despite I commented out these lines, we do have our application still running. So that's autoloading. Thank you very much.